Hey, what's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike here, and we are in season 4 of award season reviews, counting down to the 98th Academy Awards with 98 reviews in 98 days. Quick reminder before we dive in, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single day of award season content. Today, it's a big day. We are kicking off our 14th and final theme week of the season, the rest of the best. This week, I review the remaining Oscar-nominated films that I haven't touched on yet, leading up to awards night this coming Sunday, March 15th. So many great films to talk about this week, so let's get right into it. To kick off the week, I am looking at Gandam Films Productions' Cutting Through Rocks. Directed by Sara Khaki and Mohammadreza and Eyni, this documentary premiered over a year ago at Sundance last year before its Oscar qualifying run in November. Set in a remote village in northwest Iran, Cutting Through Rocks follows Sara Shahverdi as she campaigns to become the first elected councilwoman in her community. Raised by a father who had hoped for a son, Sara was instead, brought in to take on that role herself. She learns how to ride motorcycles, speak confidently, and move through the world with a level of independence that is rarely afforded to women in her village. Now, this unconventional upbringing shapes both her public persona and the platform she brings to local politics. Adding to this is a persona that isn't afraid to speak about her former marriage and divorce in order to find herself. As she travels through the community meeting residents, gathering support, the film captures her efforts to challenge long-standing traditions that have shaped life in the villages for generations. Among these priorities is advocating for women to have greater recognition within their marriages, including the push for homes to be co-owned by husbands and wives in exchange for putting in proper gas and pipeline works for the houses. And at the same time, she spends days speaking with teenage girls at local schools, encouraging them to imagine futures that include education and careers rather than early marriage. And for many of the young women that she meets, Sara represents a rare example of someone who has stepped outside of the roles traditionally expected of them. But with this increased, public view that comes with leadership, it also brings a lot of scrutiny. And as Sara begins her term, she does get elected and continues the outreach. Her actions and influence become the subject of growing controversy within parts of the community and people you wouldn't expect to be going against her. Questions arise about her intentions and her behavior, and the challenges soon, go beyond politics and deeply into personal territory, including attacks that call her gender identity and character into question. Through all of these developments, the film reveals the pressures faced by someone trying to reshape expectations in a place where change does not come easily. As a film, Cutting Through Rocks adopts a largely observational style that places the audience alongside Sara as all of the events are unfolding. Aside from occasional voiceover reflections, the film relies on, very patient and unobtrusive camera work from cinematographer and co-director Mohammadreza Eyni to document the daily life in the village. Now, that approach gives the documentary a very strong cinema verite quality, allowing viewers to experience both the more quiet rhythms of the community and the tensions that rise as Sara tries to push against these established norms. Visually, the film often finds moments of very quiet beauty within the environment. There is some stunning, you can see in this poster, sweeping shots of Sara riding her motorcycle through the rugged landscape, offering a striking contrast to the social injustices that she's facing. And it captures both her independence and also the isolation that comes with the position she's in. These reflective sequences are complemented by Karim Sebastian Elias's understated musical score, which subtly underscores the emotional weight of Sara's journey without overwhelming the natural atmosphere of the film. What ultimately makes this documentary really compelling is the portrait that it paints of a woman, you know, navigating this enormous pressure while trying to create a space for the future generations. At the same time, the film's storytelling feels a little uneven. The first half of the film builds a very nice, clear, clean narrative around Sarah's campaign, the early initiatives. The latter portion gets a little fragmented as the documentary attempts to address multiple developments at once. Although I have to say, even despite that, the film still remains an impressive and often inspiring look at a figure determined to challenge the traditions and encourage the next generation to become something more. Now, let's talk about box office and awards. After the film's brief Oscar qualifying release, it made $7,066 domestically, which made up its worldwide total. Critically, the film sits with 100% on the tomato meter based on 28 reviews, but with less than 50 audience reviews, there's no popcorn meter to speak of yet. Award season-wise, the film is one of the 5 Oscar-nominated Best Documentaries. The recipient of over 24 other awards and over a dozen additional nominations. A few highlights include the film winning the Grand Jury Prize for World Cinema and Documentary at Sundance. It won Best Documentary Feature and Best Directing at the Woodstock Film Festival. It was an Audience Award winner at the International Documentary Film Festival in Amsterdam. And one last mention is the nomination by the Directors Guild of America for Outstanding Achievement in Documentary Film. So where do I land? I was fascinated by Sarah's story, and I wanted a bit more. However, that doesn't take away from the message of the film or from the film itself. I'm going to say, Cutting Through Rocks, solid 4-star film, asks a series of questions that unfortunately don't yet have answers, but, forces us to look at sometimes the very ugly side of gender dynamics in other countries, which, while it's happening over there, may hit close to home. If you haven't seen this one yet, there are still a few sparse screenings in select cities, so check your local listings. As of this recording and posting, I have no streaming information available. All right, well, that's our kickoff. That was episode 91 of Award Season Reviews, Season 4. Thank you for joining me. We've only got 7 reviews left. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms, on Letterboxd, and of course, head over to my website, cinephilemike.com, for even more reviews and movie goodies. I'll be back tomorrow with the next review, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.